Why is it that you already know what you should do, yet you still don't do it? Why does your mind tell you to rise, but your body chooses comfort? Why do your goals feel so close, yet your discipline feels so weak? We live in an age where distractions hunt you, comfort seduces you, and your attention is the most valuable thing in the world. Modern life trains you to be soft, reactive, and easily pulled away from the path you once promised yourself you would walk. But the Stoics understood something brutal and timeless. Discipline is not a mood. Discipline is a duty. It's the foundation of every great mind, every strong character, every life built with intention. Today, we're going to break down 6 Stoic principles that will train your mind, harden your will, and help you build a level of self-discipline most people never touch. If you're ready, let's begin. 1. Embrace discomfort as training. Most people fail to build discipline not because they lack intelligence or talent, but because they spend their entire lives avoiding discomfort. They run from anything that feels hard, anything that stretches them, anything that demands effort. And yet, ironically, it is discomfort that forges the very discipline they wish they had. Discomfort is not the enemy. Discomfort is the gymnasium of the mind. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology confirmed it. Seneca practiced going days with simple food, rough clothing, and minimal comfort, not to suffer, but to train. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we must meet discomfort head-on as an old friend, because hardship reveals what comfort hides, the strength you didn't know you had. Look at your own life. When were you strongest? Truly strongest? It wasn't the easy days. It wasn't when everything went according to plan. It was when you were tested, when you showed up tired, when you didn't feel ready but moved anyway. Discomfort is the teacher that tells you the truth about yourself. Modern life, however, is designed to numb that teacher. We have climate control, instant entertainment, soft beds, fast food, same-day delivery, and the illusion that everything should be smooth and convenient. But convenience weakens the inner muscles required for discipline, resilience, grit, restraint, patience, commitment. If you always choose the comfortable path, you'll always be trapped in a comfortable cage. A Stoic chooses differently. A Stoic voluntarily seeks discomfort, not recklessly, but deliberately. Not to suffer, but to strengthen. So how do you apply this today? Start with micro-challenges, small acts of chosen difficulty that rewire your relationship with discomfort. Cold showers when your mind resists. Putting your phone away when dopamine screams for stimulation. Waking up when the alarm rings, not when your feelings negotiate. Doing one hard thing every day, exercise, reading, focused work. Sitting with boredom instead of escaping into scrolling. Finishing what you start, especially when motivation is gone. Every time you choose the harder path, you send a message to yourself. I am the one in control, not my urges, not my excuses, not my comfort. Discipline isn't built in one heroic moment. It is built in thousands of quiet decisions where you choose strength over ease. Comfort never made anyone strong. Challenges did, resistance did. Self-imposed difficulty did. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your training. And discomfort is the ultimate training ground. So today, choose one small discomfort. Embrace it. Don't resent it. Meet it the way Marcus Aurelius met his duties. Calm, steady, uncomplaining. Because the moment you stop running from discomfort, discipline finally has room to grow. 2. Master your emotions before they master you. If there is one thing that destroys discipline faster than anything else, it is emotion without control. A mind pulled by impulses, cravings, frustration, boredom, or anger cannot build consistency. You cannot lead yourself if your emotions are leading you. Most people don't fail because the work is too hard. They fail because their emotions get loud. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus said, "You must master yourself before you can master your life." They believe discipline begins the moment you stop obeying every feeling that rises inside you, because feelings are temporary, but the damage created by reacting to them can last years. Think about it. How many goals have died because you felt unmotivated? How many habits were abandoned because you felt tired? How many opportunities were lost because you felt afraid? This is why the Stoics separated emotion from action. Emotion is natural, but action must be intentional. When you feel anger, you pause. When you feel fear, you examine. When you feel doubt, you question. When you feel laziness, you override. A disciplined person is not someone who never feels emotions. It is someone who refuses to be ruled by them. Modern life makes this especially difficult. Notifications pull your attention. Social media triggers comparison. News fuels anxiety, and your brain becomes a battlefield of emotional reactions. If you don't learn to take control, you will always be controlled. So how does a Stoic take back command? First, pause before reacting. A single breath can save you from 100 regrets. This moment interrupts emotional momentum long enough for logic to step in. Second, question the emotion. Ask, is this feeling based on truth or imagination? Is it helping me or harming me? Most emotional impulses collapse under the weight of examination. Third, choose action, not reaction. A Stoic acts from values, not moods. You do the task because it's who you want to become, not because you feel like it. Discipline thrives when you make decisions from identity, not emotion. For example, you don't skip the gym because you feel tired. You go because you are someone who honors commitments. You don't abandon a project because you feel insecure. You continue because you chose growth over comfort. You don't quit because today feels heavy. You keep moving because consistency builds character. Over time, something powerful happens. Your emotions lose their ability to hijack your life. You stop being a puppet pulled by impulses. You become the one directing your thoughts, your choices, your path. The world may swirl around you, but inside, you stand steady. Remember this truth. Your emotions are visitors, not rulers. They knock, but you decide whether to let them in. When you master your emotions, you master your discipline. And when you master your discipline, you master your destiny. 3. Destroy the illusion of motivation. Most people fail to stay disciplined because they worship motivation. They wait for the right moment, the perfect mood, the spark of inspiration. They believe discipline comes from feeling energized, excited, or emotionally charged. But motivation is a liar. It appears when it wants, disappears when you need it most, and cannot be trusted to build anything lasting. The Stoics understood a deeper truth. You do not act because you feel ready. You act because it is your duty. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, remember, you were born to do the work of a human being." He didn't wake up expecting to feel motivated. He woke up expecting resistance, and then rose anyway. That is discipline. Motivation asks, do I feel like it? Discipline asks, is it the right thing to do? Motivation depends on emotion. Discipline depends on identity. This is why people quit diets, quit routines, quit commitments, quit dreams. They rely on an emotion that cannot hold weight. The path collapses because the foundation was unstable from the start. If you want to build discipline, you must destroy the illusion that you need to feel motivated. You don't. You need clarity, structure, and consistency. So what does that look like in practice? You create systems that function even on your worst days. You set non-negotiables, not goals. You design routines that survive your moods, your fatigue, and your excuses. You reduce friction, lay out clothes before the gym, delete distracting apps, plan your work in blocks. You shrink tasks until they are impossible to refuse. 10 minutes, 5 pages, 1 action. You stop waiting for inspiration and start honoring your commitments. The secret is this: you don't need motivation to begin. You need momentum. And momentum is built by doing something small, repeatedly, even imperfectly. Once you act, your mind follows. Action creates clarity. Action generates energy. Action fuels discipline. And slowly, motivation stops being the engine and becomes the bonus. You no longer rely on it. You rise without it. And when motivation finally shows up, it finds you already in motion. The world respects the person who moves with purpose, not the person who waits for the perfect feeling. The Stoics knew this. Soldiers know this. Athletes know this. Builders know this. Anyone who has ever created anything meaningful knows this. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel inspired. Stop waiting for a magical surge of energy. The disciplined life begins when you stop depending on motivation and start depending on yourself. Your identity should drive your actions, not your emotions, and definitely not your moods. Act because it matters. Act because you decided. Act because your future self is watching. 4. Focus only on what you control. One of the greatest enemies of discipline is wasted energy. People drain their willpower not by doing hard work, but by worrying about things they cannot influence. They obsess over outcomes, opinions, timing, results, external validation, and circumstances completely outside their command. And then they wonder why they feel exhausted before they even begin. Stoicism cuts through that chaos with one of the most powerful principles ever taught. Control what you can, release what you can't. Epictetus said, "Some things are in our control and some are not." This truth sounds simple, but living it requires strength. Because the undisciplined mind wants to control everything: the weather of life, the behavior of others, the pace of progress. The disciplined mind controls only one thing: itself. Look at how much energy people waste daily. Worrying about who supports them. Overthinking whether success will come fast enough. Trying to impress people who don't matter. Feeling discouraged when results don't appear immediately. Comparing their journey to someone else's timeline. None of that is in your control. None of it builds discipline. None of it moves you forward. Discipline thrives when the mind is uncluttered. A Stoic focuses like a laser. Your effort, your actions, your attitude, your choices, your response to challenges. Everything else? Noise. When you stop fighting what you cannot control, your energy stops leaking. You become sharper, calmer, more consistent. You make better decisions. You waste less time. You build routines that hold steady even when life feels unpredictable. Let's make this practical. If you can control it, act. If you cannot, accept and adapt. If you're unsure, ask, does this require my effort or my surrender? Apply this to your goals. You can control showing up to the gym. You cannot control how fast your body changes. You can control your study schedule. You cannot control exactly when opportunities arrive. You can control your work ethic. You cannot control other people's opinions about it. You can control your behavior. You cannot control how someone reacts to it. Most people reverse this. They try to control the uncontrollable and ignore what actually belongs to them. And that is why they never build discipline that lasts. Discipline is not just about doing hard things. It's about refusing to waste strength on the wrong things. When you focus on what you control, you eliminate emotional turbulence. You reduce frustration. You protect your mental endurance. You create a mindset where discipline becomes natural, not forced. Because the mind that is not distracted becomes unstoppable. Remember this. Your control is small, but it is powerful. Your influence is limited, but it is enough. Your discipline doesn't grow in the world outside of you. It grows inside, where your choices live. Let the world do what it will. Let time unfold how it must. You stay steady, you stay focused, and your discipline will rise exactly where your control begins. 5. Build routines that survive. Your mood. One of the greatest misunderstandings about discipline is the belief that it depends on how you feel. People act as if consistency comes from excitement, inspiration, or emotional fire. But anyone who has lived long enough knows the truth. Your emotions are unpredictable, unstable, inconsistent, and often completely opposed to your long-term goals. If your routines depend on your mood, then so does your entire future. A disciplined life is not built on good days. It is built on ordinary days, on heavy days, on uninspired days, on days when the last thing you want to do is show up. Most people fail not because they lack goals or ambition, but because they lack the ability to stay consistent when their emotions shift. They wake up tired and skip the plan. They feel unmotivated and postpone the work. They feel stressed and abandon the routine. And slowly, quietly, their identity becomes shaped by avoidance, not action. The Stoics saw this weakness clearly. They believed that routine is the great equalizer, the structure that holds you steady when emotion tries to pull you off course. Marcus Aurelius didn't journal only on peaceful mornings. He journaled while leading armies, while facing betrayal, illness, war, and political turmoil. Discipline for him was not optional, it was armor. That is what a routine truly is, protection from the chaos of your own mind. Modern society gives you the illusion that you must feel ready or feel aligned before taking action. Social media floods you with messages about following your energy, waiting for inspiration, embracing flow. But this mindset creates fragile people, individuals whose entire capacity to act collapses when their emotional weather changes. If you want strength, you must build routines that survive emotional storms. So how do you build routines with that kind of resilience? First, strip away complexity. Most people create routines that look impressive on paper but impossible in reality. They schedule hours of productivity, a perfect workout plan, an ideal morning ritual, and a flawless diet. Then one difficult day comes. One bad night of sleep, one stressful morning, one moment of emotional heaviness, and the entire system breaks apart. Complexity collapses quickly. Simplicity endures. A routine you can do on your worst day is more powerful than a routine you can only do on your best. Second, build routines that reinforce identity, not emotion. You don't go to the gym because you feel motivated. You go because you are someone who values strength. You don't study because you feel focused. You study because you are someone who takes mastery seriously. You don't work consistently because every day feels great. You work because consistency is who you are. The moment your routines become tied to identity, they stop depending on moods. Third, use minimum standards to maintain continuity. This is one of the most powerful discipline hacks in existence. Minimum standards keep you moving even when motivation disappears. They prevent your identity from breaking. If you can't do a full workout, do 5 minutes. If you can't read a whole chapter, read 1 page. If you can't write for an hour, write for 5 minutes. The task shrinks, but the standard stays alive. This keeps your internal narrative intact. I am someone who shows up. Once that identity holds, discipline becomes self-sustaining. Fourth, design your environment to reduce emotional resistance. Your surroundings should support your discipline, not sabotage it. Lay out your clothes the night before. Place your phone in another room during deep work hours. Keep your workspace clean and ready. Remove junk food from your house. Delete apps that drain your focus. Make the disciplined action easier than the undisciplined alternative. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. Fifth, build a morning routine that sets your mental temperature. Your first hour is the anchor of your day. If you begin with chaos, scrolling, noise, distraction, you spend the rest of the day recovering. But if you begin with intention, stillness, clarity, focus, the whole day aligns behind your discipline. Your morning routine doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be deliberate. A few minutes of journaling, a few minutes of silence, a few minutes of purposeful action. This alone can shift your entire life. Sixth, accept that boredom is part of mastery. People break routines because they confuse boredom with failure. They think discipline should feel exciting. It shouldn't. The Stoics knew that repetition is the furnace of growth. When a routine becomes boring, it means it's working. It means you've moved past the emotional honeymoon phase and into the stage where true development happens. If you can endure boredom, you can endure anything. Finally, honor your commitments privately, without the need for applause. When your discipline becomes something you perform for validation, it becomes fragile. But when it becomes something you do quietly, consistently, for yourself and your future, it becomes unbreakable. A Stoic does not need an audience. Consistency is the reward. Integrity is the reward. Self-respect is the reward. Over time, your routines begin to reshape you. They carve out a new identity. They build neural pathways that support discipline. They turn chaos into order. They transform you from someone who reacts to someone who directs. Your emotions stop dictating your choices. Your choices begin dictating your emotions. This is the truth. You don't rise to the level of your mood. You rise to the level of your routine. And once your routines become stronger than your emotions, nothing, no bad day, no lack of motivation, no shifting feeling, can break your discipline again. 6. Live with Memento Mori. Urgency creates discipline. Nothing weakens discipline more than the quiet assumption that you have unlimited time. When you believe you can start tomorrow, you delay. When you assume opportunities will return, you hesitate. When you tell yourself that one day you'll become disciplined, you never do. The illusion of endless time is one of the most seductive lies the mind tells, and one of the most dangerous. Stoicism destroys that illusion with a single principle powerful enough to reshape a life. Memento Mori. Remember that you will die. Not to frighten you, not to make you anxious, but to make you awake. Most people live as though time is abundant, as though it patiently waits for them to get serious, as though they can casually postpone growth, health, discipline, dreams, and meaningful work. But time is not patient. Time is not loyal. Time is not guaranteed, and ignoring this truth is the reason so many people drift through life without urgency, without direction, without purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." This was not a morbid statement. It was liberation. Because once you accept the fragility of life, your priorities sharpen. Your procrastination loses power. Your excuses become embarrassing. Your discipline becomes non-negotiable. Think about how you behave when time suddenly becomes limited. When a deadline approaches, you focus. When an opportunity is about to disappear, you act. When someone you love is slipping away, you show up. When you realize a moment will never come again, you pay attention. This is the power of urgency. Urgency is not stress. Urgency is clarity. It is the state of mind where you stop lying to yourself about how much time you have left to become who you want to be. Without Memento Mori, life feels infinite, so you waste it. With Memento Mori, life feels precious, so you protect it. The Stoics didn't meditate on death to be sad. They did it to stop postponing their own lives. They understood that every day you delay discipline, you lose a day you can never reclaim. You don't just lose progress, you lose potential. You lose the version of yourself you could have become. So how do you live with Memento Mori in a powerful, disciplined way? First, recognize the truth you spend your life avoiding. Your time is finite. Your opportunities are finite. Your strength, energy, clarity, and health are finite. This realization is not meant to crush you. It is meant to wake you up. Second, ask the questions people avoid. If I only had 1 year left, what would suddenly matter? If I only had 1 year left, what would I stop doing immediately? If I only had 1 year left, which habits would become urgent instead of optional? These questions expose the difference between your distractions and your destiny. Third, use mortality as a filter for discipline. When you hesitate, remind yourself, if not now, when? When you want to quit, remind yourself, this moment will not return. When you feel lazy, remind yourself, my future self will inherit the consequences. Fourth, treat each day as a single, complete unit of life. A day fully lived is a life fully lived in miniature. If you waste a day, you waste a life in miniature. If you honor a day, you honor your life. Discipline grows when each day is treated as something sacred, not something to casually survive. Fifth, accept that death gives meaning to effort. Why does discipline matter? Because your time to create something meaningful is limited. Why does health matter? Because your body does not last forever. Why do habits matter? Because your life is built in days and the number of days you have is unknown. This understanding does not lead to fear, it leads to focus. Finally, let Memento Mori make you bold. When you realize how short life is, you stop waiting for permission, you stop living small, you stop hiding your potential, you stop delaying the version of yourself you know you are capable of becoming. Discipline becomes easier because hesitation becomes pointless. Most people fear death but live like they're immortal. Stoics accept death and therefore live fully. When you understand that time is slipping through your fingers, whether you act or not, discipline stops being a struggle. It becomes the natural response to the truth of your existence. No more waiting, no more negotiating, no more promising yourself tomorrow. Memento Mori is not about dying. It is about choosing to finally live. Let that realization drive your discipline. Let urgency sharpen your mind. Let mortality strip away the trivial. Let the shortness of life ignite your desire to act now. Because the moment you stop assuming you have time, you stop wasting it. Discipline is not built in grand gestures or rare moments of inspiration. It is shaped quietly, day by day, through the choices you repeat, the discomforts you embrace, the emotions you master, the illusions you destroy, the routines you protect, and the urgency with which you live. These 6 Stoic principles are not theories. They are tools. Tools that reshape your identity, strengthen your character, and sharpen your ability to act regardless of mood, fear, or circumstance. If there is one message the Stoics would want you to remember, it is this. You are capable of far more than you think. But capability means nothing without consistency. Potential means nothing without discipline. And time means nothing if you continue to wait for a better moment. So choose one principle, apply it today, apply it quietly, relentlessly, without needing approval. Let it become part of you. Because discipline is not something you practice once, it's something you become. Thank you for spending this time strengthening your mind. I hope these principles stay with you tomorrow and the day after, and every day you choose to rise with intention. Until the next video, stay disciplined, stay grounded, stay stoic.